Man, I'm sick of working out. I mean, what is the secret?
All right, people want to know the secret.
Wait, what?
It's performance-inspired nutrition, all natural. Hello?
Well, hello indeed. Time out of the board, A-hole here, and today, take this video as somewhat of a PSA, a public service announcement. Do you remember at the end of Saved by the Bell, if you ever used to watch that, probably still on TV now, I think there's a new version of it. At the end, you'd have some ridiculous storyline, and Zach Morris would come on air, and he would say to you, man, don't do drugs, don't smoke, and, don't drink alcohol because it will kill you.
You know, that kind of thing happens a lot. Hey, remember Len Bias, the basketball star? Had everything, including cocaine.
Well, I'm not going to say we're going to go this far, but when it comes to social media and celebrity and fitness and all these kind of things, it is dragging people down. And even today, just clicking around, I didn't even follow some of these guys. All of this propaganda was thrown at my eyes, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to sit down here and I'm going to talk about it. And we'll start off with this. There he is, Mark Wahlberg. You recognize him. He just turned 50 years old. And I think we did a video about this last year, whenever it was. He did a role recently where he put on 50 pounds and he was eating burgers and fries and everything like that. He said he was eating 11,000 calories today. I do not believe that. And now he's lost it all, so he's here going, man, look at me, look at me. Listen to what he says in the video.
All right, people want to know the secret. It's performance-inspired nutrition, all natural. Hello?
That's right. He is promoting a fitness company that I'm sure he's affiliated with. And if you turn to his Instagram post, which I have here, he says, had to whisper to not upset my wife for not wearing a shirt. That's weird. Go check out all 60 of our all-natural sports nutrition products to help you on your health and fitness journey. Stay inspired and let's go. And then he tags all the relevant people. Now look, I have no problem with this. He is a business, he is a brand, he is all of these words that we made up in 2022. And of course, he's allowed to hawk his wares. But the problem is, at no point does he say, oh, and why would he say this? But I get it. Oh, by the way, you don't need to take any of these supplements to look like me. It's going to depend on time. It's going to depend on genetics. It's going to depend on your diet. It's going to depend how much you're sleeping. It's going to depend on how much and how intensely you're working out in the gym. Because do not forget, I mean, the clue is in the name. A supplement is supplementary to everything else you're doing. Now, I'm not saying they can't help. They can make 1-2%, but sadly, people see this and they go, well, that's where I've been going wrong. I need to buy all of this stuff. Now, sometimes maybe it will help you, but sometimes you just have to accept your lot that you're never going to be a super jacked person because you don't have the right DNA. And we zoom into the comments as well. And as always, it's just people going flex emoji, flex emoji, flex emoji, fire, fire, fire. At no point is he ever just set into flames. So I don't know what that's about. Absolutely shredded, mate. Let's go. Remind me not to pick a fight with that dude. Inspired to be better, and so far and so forth. One person says, I think if I was jacked as you, my wife would never complain about me not wearing a shirt. Someone puts TRT into the conversation, which I'm sure he is on. Why wouldn't he be on it? He's a 50-year-old man. It's something that we should all look into as we get older. It's a whole different video for a different conversation. So you get all of that right. If you've seen it today or whenever, you may go, man, he's 50, I'm whatever the hell you are. I don't look like that. And if you follow Mark Wahlberg, you may also follow Chris Hemsworth. So what happens when you go to Chris Hemsworth's page? You get this little nugget. Now look, there's Chris Hemsworth looking pretty damn jacked, but for straight away, look at the lighting. That is dimmed and that is right, and he's wearing a hat for some reason. Maybe that created even more shadows. And there's no point pretending he's not in great shape. I think he's doing it for Extraction 2, which is a movie he has coming out of Netflix. But once again, we go straight into the description below. Finishing the week strong with some well-deserved iron punishment, in capitals. Get some Center Fit, which of course is his fitness app that he wants you to get. And I didn't even see this one before. Right, he's even tagged the person that took the picture. You know, he's a cinematographer, he's a photographer. And he probably took that picture 100 times. He's probably not even lifting that much weight. He looks like he's lifting that much weight. But the whole point of this post is to try and advertise his app, which once again, he is 100% allowed to do. But we as human beings, as we are people that are into the gym, have to approach it with this little grain of salt in the back of my mind. And I think if you want to check out Center Fit, you absolutely should. I can't personally speak for it. We did a little video on it, but we didn't get deep down dirty in it. And it may work for you. It may be absolutely rubbish. Hopefully it offers a free trial because that's what it does. But once again, you go to the comments. It's fire emoji. There's no fire. Imagine you were from like 1324 and someone gave you a phone, but why is everyone on fire? Like, don't worry about it. So it's just a bunch of emojis, and then people talking about Thor, etc., etc. But at no point, I mean, it's mostly people being quite excited about, about this is good for motivation, and it is good for motivation. If you see Chris Hemsworth looking like this and you can accept it positively, which is why I'm going to the gym, I'm going to go work out, I'm going to improve my diet, that's great. But what actually happens is 6 months down the line, you don't look like Chris Hemsworth because you're not Chris Hemsworth, and you start to feel bad and you start to feel down on yourself. And then you may start to spend money on things you don't need that are not going to work, and that's no good for anybody. And also, it's not fair on you. Life is hard enough right now with prices inflating all over the place and all the craziness post-pandemic. The last thing you want to do is buy snake oil. If you don't know what snake oil is, Google it. So you do all of that, and then you wind up The Rock's Instagram, because of course you do. He's got millions and millions of followers, ironically, and you see this. Now, once again, do you know what he's lifting? No, you have no idea. He's doing shrugs and he's pulling a face like, oh, I'm lifting loads. He may just be lifting the bar. Maybe it was shot that way. I'm sure whoever was taking it could have taken a step back to show what he was listing. But then you go into the description and it says midnight therapy in the IP, the Iron Paradise, his gym. He named his gym. That's weird. After the long work day, my shrinks are the chains you hear banging around. And then chain emoji, brain emoji, laugh emoji. Again, that person from older times is confused. And then what's the second line, right? Training in my new Project Rock gear, dropping 2nd of the 3rd. So what's that, a few days' time or whatever it is. He has done this to promote his Project Rock stuff, which is a massive success. More play to him. He has diversified his portfolio. And so many people will see that earn it top. Does that say earn greatness 7? Oh, because of his $7. Yeah, they will see that and they'll go, oh man, I'll look really good in that top. And you probably will look good in that top. It will be cut in the right way and it will be tight and all of this kind of stuff. But you will not look like The Rock. And all of a sudden, you will start getting upset with yourself because that's what people do. Let's go into the comments. I think we already know what we're going to get. My word. Where even are the comments? There they are. No fire emojis yet, but we do have clap, clap, clap. There it is. No, Yomio Kart, who I don't know, is a really big deal. So more fall on me. Fire, 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 fire. Where is Kevin in reference to Kevin Hart? And so on and so forth. And I mean, some people got a picture of her, but I don't even talk about that. That's not what this is about. This is more about the mental side of fitness that I know lots of people get into. But when I saw these 3 things, and it actually tied into another video that I saw, how really every time you go on the internet, you have to, I'm sure you know this, I'm sure I'm speaking to the converted, but even if one person goes, oh my gosh, I didn't even think of it that way before. The new Jackass movie is out soon. Now, I like Jackass. Even in 2022, the concept of a bunch of people trying to kill themselves, which is what it is oddly entertaining. But then you get this video.
Lightweight? What are you guys talking about? What the?
And yes, that was UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou punching one of the Jackass people right in the groin. Now, the only reason this happened is because they're promoting the movie. And I'm sure that's in the movie as well, right? They've just got a clip and they've thrown it on there. But they've put that out because Francis just retained his championship. There's a lot of talk about Francis in the media right now with his UFC contract and falling out with Dana White and wanting to be an independent contractor and going into boxing, Tyson Fury, make millions of dollars, so on and so forth. But it's all the same kind of a thing, which is why you've just got to ignore the nonsense and you've just got to focus on you. Use these as things to look up to, but don't use them as aspirational targets. If you buy that Project Rock clothing, it probably feel really nice, so you should get it, but you ain't going to look like The Rock. You should use Chris Hemsworth's Center app if you think it's beneficial, but you shouldn't think you're going to look like Chris Hemsworth. And you could even try Mark Wahlberg supplement nutrition line, but you ain't going to look like Mark Wahlberg. Hey, some of you may look even better without buying the clothing, without using the app, without buying the supplements. And a lot of you, I'm not going to say you're going to look worse, you're just not going to look like them. And there's no need for these people to come out and tell us exactly what they're taking. Transparency and honesty is great, of course it is, but they don't need to. Look at the success they built up around themselves. And of course you can say, well, that brings up another argument about morality. Of course it does, but actually it starts with you. Because no matter what The Rock says he doesn't do, or Mark Wahlberg or Chris Hemsworth or anybody else, if you approach it just a little bit skeptically, not too much, I'm not telling you to be a negative Nancy, continuing to be a positive Pete, but if you are just a little bit skeptical, it means you're not going to affect your own life. And that's what it's all about. Again, it doesn't matter what anybody else decides to put on their body. You make your own choices. You do that. And just make sure you're happy with the results. And if you're not happy with the results, sit down and figure out why. Because even if you did get your perfect body, if you're not a happy chap deep down in your tum-tum, having it is not going to make a difference. Okay, sure, it's going to cross one thing off your list, but maybe you've got money problems, maybe you're not happy at work, maybe your relationship isn't going well. Just because you're jacked, look, it's better to be jacked than not jacked if you want to be jacked. Of course it is. That's a lovely little rhyme you can use in your own life that nobody will ever say because it won't catch on, but it is not the be-all and end-all. And I get it. I've done it too. We just put so much stock into these things. Like I saw a video the other day. I think Greg Doucette covered it with The Rock. I'd seen that video before, and he was talking about how he ate 6,000, 8,000 calories, and for half a millisecond, my brain went, maybe I need to eat more food. You see, it got me. Because I thought, well, The Rock, he's a pretty big guy, and I'd like to do it. And I was like, no, you don't. You can say whatever you want. I can stand here right now and say, I do this all the time. I rub Gerald the fitness mascot, there he is, he's got merchandise, Simon at thebigcartel.com, onto my face. And because of that, that's how I'm able to get in whatever shape I'm in. Of course, that's not true. But if I tell you it, one person, I know it because I've been there, will look up to the sky in a very forlorn and thoughtful kind of a way and go, that's what I need. And all of a sudden, Amazon won't have any penguins. I mean, that's an exaggeration. My platform ain't that big. But you take my point, and I think it's, I was dragged in by it all. I mean, not today, but in general. And I thought, well, I'm still doing it. And I've been aware of this stuff for like 15 years. It was all back in the day when I was reading an article in Flex, which obviously mostly focuses on people that are on gear. So obviously you have to train differently if you are and aren't on gear. And I remember reading all of this stuff and thinking, oh man, well, I'll do all of this. And I just became a fat mess because it wasn't a fair fight. And nor does it need to be a fair fight. Fitness is about you. The most important muscle you have is your heart. And it's a competition with yourself. Remembering these things all of the time. The fact that you're bothering to go to the gym is awesome. The fact that you're bothering trying to tidy up your diet is awesome. The fact that you even have these thoughts is awesome, right? Even if, say, yesterday you were a fat pig, good for you. You smashed it, ate a bunch of cake, ate a bunch of pizza. If you have woken up today and even had the thought, I need to sort this out, you should pat yourself in the back. And of course, you have to manifest that into something realistic eventually, because having the thought means nothing. But you didn't have the thought on Sunday when you were smashing your ass with donuts, but you did have 24 hours later, which means you're headed on the right path. So I just think it's important to be very aware of that because it's going to keep getting worse and worse. That's basically what social media is. It's one big advert. But remember, you can choose to do whatever you want to do. Like, there's no rules, right? But just do not be reeled in by this stuff, because it never, ever ends well. Now, please do like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the bell ding-dings. When other videos are going live, there is another video, or there will be in a second on the screen. Give it a click. I don't even care if you watch it. Just click it, leave it for like 2 minutes, and then go. I'm only half joking. Hopefully it will entertain you enough to watch it, but YouTube loves it. YouTube also loves comments, so you can say whatever you want, and subscriptions, so do that as well. I think I'm repeating myself. Like it, all the stuff that everybody tells you to do on this stupid platform. Not stupid. YouTube powers that be. Wonderful. Actually, I do love it. It's very, very kind to me. GorillaMind.com/Simon. Right, so this ties into everything I just said. I use these fitness products, and we're going to have a video on this soon showing the supplements I use because I want to show you that I actually use them. They will help you a little bit. I'm a big fan of them, especially their pre-workout stuff. It's cool to be affiliated with them, and if you want to get them, 10% off. Use the code Simon. If you don't, that's okay. Keep doing your thing. I'm also in Greg Doucette's Power 13 cookbook, which again is just a PDF cookbook to say, here's some nice foods you can have in your diet that actually taste nice so you won't get bored and once again go shove donuts up your ass. I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Simon316 if you want to send me any articles or things to react to. I always enjoy that. Simon.bigcartel.com for merch. He's on there. Is Stanley on there? I don't think he is. And there's an octopus. Don't even worry about it. It's just really, really weird. I am on Cameo. That's what it's called. I'm on Patreon, patreon.com/Simon316 if you want to support me there. But otherwise, I want you to take 5 minutes today. I want you to sit down. I want you to be proud of yourself that you are trying to get in shape. And I also want you to remind yourself, you know what? All this outside noise doesn't even matter.